You've been out here as an opposing coach before. How difficult will it be for a guy like Zach Wilson with the crowd noise to kind of handle that sort of environment?
Yeah, for a visiting team, this is a tough place to play. We all know that the challenge for a team on the road is crowd noise, and very educated fan base. They know how to let us hear a pin drop when we're on offense, but then crank it up when they're on defense, and that's really the challenge when you go on the road. Fortunately, we've been on the road the last couple of weeks with some crowd noise for the first time in a year, and our guys handled it pretty well. And so I'm looking forward to our fans putting a little pressure on them. I think it's going to be an exciting time for us.
Yeah, Teddy reminded us that he was sacked 7 times when he was here, and you were with him there in Minnesota. My math is right.
Yeah.
Did the crowd noise factor into that, you think? A little bit?
Well, he remembered it. I probably tried to forget it. I mean, but yeah, I mean, that always plays into it, you know, and the quality of the players you're playing against and all that goes into it. You know, whether you're behind, you're throwing the ball more than the law allows and all that business. But I'm looking forward to it. It's fun. It's more enjoyable in my mind when you got the full experience, especially. You know, I really believe that our game is about our players. Our game is about their families and about our fans. And so for the fans to be back and get the full experience, that's a key component to our business.
Pat, statistically, Teddy's been almost perfect against the blitz so far this year. What have you seen from him that's allowed him to have kind of success when the defenses are bringing extra rushers?
Same thing you have. You know, I think Teddy's got poise. I think we work a lot during the week about what pressures we're going to see. I think our guys up front have done a nice job of blocking the pressure. So there's confidence that comes with that. And each week it's different. You know, today is a big third down day for us, and you know, the Jets present a lot of different pressures that are unique to them that we got to get honed in on. And but I think Teddy's presence, his ability to make a play when it's not perfect, and then he's getting a better feel each week for the guys he's throwing to.
You had a ton of third and longs last week. What's missing on first down to get some better situations?
Well, I don't know. I think the third down thing is, you know, every week you can cherry pick something, and certainly we need to do better of not having third and longs. But I do know this, you know, whether it's third or fourth down, the goal is to stay on the field. And we had 2 fourth downs we converted, and then we had another third down that the people with the pencil don't count, where they had a penalty that kept us on the field. Fortunately, we had, I think, 22 or 23 first downs in total. So let's get first downs on second down and not worry about it.
One of those third down conversions was the Javante run that Teddy said he checked into.
Sure.
What did Teddy see on that to make that kind of decision?
It's just part of our third down plan. You know, there's certain looks that we see from a defense where we're either going to audible to a different pass, a different protection, or in some cases a run, and that was it.
Teddy's done a pretty good job of avoiding hits so far, it seems like. How would you evaluate kind of his decision-making in terms of when to stay in there and be willing to take that hit or scramble versus avoiding the unnecessary ones?
Yeah, I think it's all, you know, quarterbacks, you know, it's timing, decision-making, and accuracy. And he has a good clock in his head as to when the time is getting short, and he has the ability to get the ball off. He made some really good throws just before a defender got there. He's able to elude in the pocket. You know, for a guy that probably doesn't have a blazing 40 speed, he is elusive, and I think that's a gift, and I think we're all starting to see it.
He didn't connect on his first 2 long passes. It might have been interference on one. But was there conversation between you and him, like, hey, we're going back to this, we're going to stay with it, or how'd that conversation go?
To some degree. I mean, I believe in being aggressive for the right reasons. I mean, they're just not random throws down the field. They're not 60-yard checkdowns. You know, I think we're strategic with the shots that we take, and then we hit one later in the game that helped open things up. And then later on, too, you know, part of it, you know, we're talking about third downs and staying on the field. You know, we had a long, you know, down the middle of the field, we threw one where it was pass interference, you know, where Teddy did the right thing and let the ball go. So you got to be careful on some of that. You know, we certainly want to improve all areas of our team, but when you're getting first downs, we almost had 40 minutes in time of possession. I'm going to get pencil whipped on the red zone, but we were taking a knee at the end. So, you know, I think all that plays into it. Our decision there was not to get 26 or 30 points. It was to end the game with the ball. You know, so there's all that goes into it. When I look at it from an offensive standpoint, we haven't had many penalties. We've only had the one turnover. We've been able to possess the ball. And fortunately, in the first 2 games, we scored enough points to win. And I think that's what you're looking for.
Javonte Williams has been really stout in pass protection. How rare is that for a rookie, especially at the beginning of the season?
I think it's very rare, but he's got some rare traits. I think he's, you know, we've talked about it here. He's got a very bright future. And he's showing up early in the season, early in his career. And so I think he's going to be fun to watch for a lot of years.
But what do you like about the 3 tight end groupings that you guys are using? Is part of that just wanting to get Eric on the field more with all the good things that he's been doing early?
Yeah, you know, you've heard me say it before. I think it's important we use the whole roster. I think it's important they all have a role. You know, we have a setup where I feel good about putting 3 tight ends in. And there's times when that helps get a couple receivers a little bit of a break. You know, I think for those that are keeping track of it, I think 9 guys caught footballs. You know, and I think that's important. You know, you provide balance and you trust the guys that are out there, and it helps you.
Coach, how good was it to get that performance from Cortland?
What about?
How good was it to get that performance from Cortland for him, and then I guess for the team with Jerry?
Yeah, I think it's important. You know, and again, he's always going to get production, but I think big production for receivers, it comes in bunches. You may go a couple games and have huge games like that, hopefully, and then you may go a couple weeks where it's medium, and then but as long as you're still involved, and again, keeping 8 or 9 receivers or 10 receivers involved, including the running backs, you know, every once in a while they're going to have a huge game. And, you know, Cortland proved that physically he's back, and the challenge is to just keep being as consistent as you can be available, and when the ball comes your way, make those plays.
Hey, Pat, you mentioned during training camp the benefit of playing Minnesota-Seattle with their 4-3.
Yeah.
What does that allow you guys to do early in this week so it's not totally foreign?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. The structure of their defense, you know, they're really good on defense. You know, in fact, when I was with the Giants, I lived about 5 minutes from the Jets facility and played against them and the whole deal. So I'm pretty well aware of their team, and they got very, very talented, just speaking from the defensive standpoint, very, very talented defensive players. Their structure is much like it's a 4-man front structure, which is different than the last couple of weeks. And the Seattle experience and obviously the Minnesota experience, you know, gave us a chance in training camp to work some of the things that we might work this week.
There were a couple plays where maybe the initial play didn't look like it worked out. I think there was a screen that didn't develop, and Teddy kind of turned around and threw it back across the field.
Right.
There's one where he scrambled and found Alberto by the sideline to get a few. How good has he been at kind of not letting plays getting something out of those plays that aren't working perfectly?
Sure. Decision-making is huge for the quarterback. The timing is huge. And, you know, late in the down, you got to be a good decision-maker as a quarterback early in the down and late in the down. So late in the down, he's finding these receivers. And then, you know, I would expect if they're not available, then he just throws it away or runs with it. But I think that's part of Teddy's charm. He's a good decision-maker.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Appreciate it.